Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And what I mean by when I say that is it's a truth that's known by, you know, like spiritual people, or, it's written in the Bible. If you're not like tapped in, you probably wouldn't understand it. It's even when it comes to manifesting, what you have on the outside reflects who you are on the inside. So basically, when you see people who, you know, are doing well on the outside, who have great lives, fantastic lives, let's say they have lots of money, they're successful, or, things just always work out for them. That's because their inner world is in alignment. Their inner world somehow within themselves, in their mind, in their being, they're already being wealthy in their mind. Their inner world is already uh it has structure. Their inner world has structure. Their inner world, they're at peace. They have, success inward. They're already inwardly successful. So that's how they have success outwardly. That's why they, on the outside, they may have successful lives, money, or, careers, relationships, whatever, because that's who they're already being on the inside. That's who they already are on the inside. And pretty much, when you see people who are struggling, who may not have money, or may be struggling, things aren't going their way, it's like they might have drama in their life. Let's say if they're lonely, or if they don't have anything going for them, then that could mean that their inner world is probably messed up. And I I like to think that, people, we like to think that, things are just a coincidence, that they just happen. But when things happen on the outside, if your outer world doesn't look too great, then clearly that could be something wrong with your inner world. That could be something wrong with a person's inner world. And even me personally, I'm learning myself, how to manage that, how to fix that, overcome that, because yeah, I see, people who, we say that, oh, people's lives look good on the surface. Well, if that's the case, then they must be doing something right on the inside as well. In order to maintain a decent life, or a good life, you have to have a certain amount of discipline. You know, you have to. You gotta have a certain amount of mental strength, intelligence, discipline. You have to be in alignment spiritually to a certain point to even have, you know, that level of success, or a great life, money, love, whatever. You have to be inwardly, you have to be in alignment to be able to attract that. You gotta be able to yeah, you gotta be able to have a certain level of discipline, or spiritual discipline, mental discipline, to even be able to have or maintain that stuff, you know? And yeah, these things take a lot of effort to maintain. And I feel that, if you're in alignment, inwardly, what are you thinking about yourself? What are you what are you feeling? You know? What are your feelings about yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? That sort of thing. It's gonna translate into what you do, you know? And even personally, I know this. I know for a fact that this is the truth, that in order for, my external reality to be better, I have to be better internally, you know. Like, I know this personally. It's a process though. It can be hard. I mean, some people struggle with it more than others, but yeah, even me personally, like, I gotta, like, I'm working on it, because let's say if someone wants to make more money, if someone wants to get more views, if someone wants to get in shape, or I don't know, what anything, if someone wants to find love or a partner, it's like all these things can only happen if you're in alignment inwardly. If you are in alignment, you have to have a certain level of mental discipline to even be able to maintain these things. It's like, well, if I, were to, if I want more views, I would have to post every day. I would have to be more consistent, like this, it all correlates, at the end of the day, to even maintain a certain amount of wealth, I would have to constantly be busy working and be disciplined to maintain it. If I wanted a relationship, I'd have to have the discipline to maintain that, you know if I wanted to even gain, like, this could even be spiritual. If I wanted to have a spiritual ability to be able, like, that takes work too. That takes work too, because these spiritual practices require discipline. The mind is capable of doing a lot of things, but how would I be able to discipline? How would I be able to have certain how would I be able to do certain things if I don't have the level of discipline required? And that's important, and yeah. I know that, and even I personally I gotta work on it. It's a process. I feel like God, or whatever you ascribe to, really tests the hell out of some people, really tests some people, and tests their discipline on certain things, because it's like, it may seem like some people have easy lives, but the truth is, it's like, I just think that everyone's born at a different level of awareness, to where if they're aware of what they're being, then they can control who they are, and then attract what they really want, But if a person's not aware of who they're being, they're not controlling their reality, their habits, and then they're not able to get the things that they want, and yeah. It is what it is, Everyone's life is different, but the thing is, everyone has a brain, everyone's capable of changing who they're being. Anyone's capable of altering their conscious to match, you know, their desired reality. So, yeah, I think it's important, read books and to have discipline in all areas. Cause as above, so below, who you are inside does show who you are on the outside, So it is what it is. I'm still working on it myself. It's not easy for most people. It's not. And especially it's even better if you learn earlier. They don't teach you this stuff in school. They teach you base knowledge about the 3D realm that really, I mean, doesn't translate into any worthwhile, success. It's like, okay, they teach you basic, you know, crap that, okay, and, like they prepare you to work a job or something. But, you know, if a person were to learn this stuff at an early age, like how to alter their conscience, how to change their state of being, man, they would be unstoppable if someone learned this at an early age. It's like, but they don't want people to learn this stuff at an early age. They don't. People tend to learn this later in life when they're an adult, and it's like it is what it is, but that's the truth. Um it's never too late to learn it. But yeah, in a nutshell, how is a person going to have a certain lifestyle if they already aren't being it internally, if they already aren't cultivating the habits and simply, like assuming the state of being it already, feeling and doing what they have, feeling and doing what is necessary to have the things that they desire. But anyway, that's the easiest way I could explain it in the nutshell. And whoever's watching this, don't forget, drop a like. Why not? And subscribe, comment if you want. Peace.